I wanted to talk about what it means to make a change regarding something that you've learned since way back, and the fear associated with making that switch. It's the fear of unknown, what's ahead, what will happen. It's something that you probably have struggled with regarding many things in your life. There is coming a time quickly when the technology tools that we use will no longer allow us to make a change that is beneficial to our lives, because they will be so entrenched in our day-to-day activities, how we live and work and communicate and make money, make a living, how we help people. It will be a complete system of control. There is a movement out there, you can feel it. It's a movement of people recognizing this and making a change before it's too late. But I wanted to talk to those people who are still on the fence, or who either don't recognize what's coming, or who are too scared to make a change because change is hard. Something new is difficult to learn at times, and it's a scary proposition, and at times it just feels easier to deal with whatever it is that comes your way, because mentally speaking, it's the simpler path. And I'm not here to tell you that doing something like dropping Windows or Mac even, because they've been products that have benefited you, ever since you started using them. Windows started out, aside from the history of how it was created, it has done a lot of good in the world. It has lifted people out of poverty. It has educated people. It has allowed our societies to progress to a point, it along with all the other technologies in the world. But unfortunately, it has progressed to a point where the technology has now become the tool of tyrants. And these tyrants, for whatever their personal reasons, their goals or their ends are not in your best interest. Their goal is to control, to restrict, to determine the information that you see, to determine whether or not you get to make money, to determine who you get to talk to, what you get to say. This is something that, people have warned against for centuries. And there's always been a hint of it throughout everything that we do, throughout our normal daily lives. When the founding of the United States took place, and the concerns when forming a new government were communicated very clearly on all sides. There were people that were concerned that that's too much freedom, that the system they were creating is too much freedom, that it'll cause problems and strife. There were people that, rightly, I believe, that governments tend towards tyranny, that they tend towards control. The more power that you grant to a government, the less beneficial it is for the people that government is governing. And you're seeing this. The technology that we rely on day to day, you can't escape it. The problem is you don't get to choose anymore what is right and wrong. They choose for you. And the choice isn't, it's not even about acting anymore. It's gone to the level of thinking. If you think wrong, you are now a threat to their system. And what are thoughts? Thoughts are the inner silent version of speech, right? You have a thought and then you tell it. And that thought is being attacked. Are all thoughts great? No, that's not the point. The point is the ability to think, whether you're right or wrong, the ability to think is now deemed as illegal. So we've passed the point of, well, I don't care about my privacy because I'm not doing anything wrong anyway. Yes, you are. You're thinking. You're probably thinking thoughts that aren't approved by them, or that they consider threatening. And that is the reason you should care. You no longer have choice. You no longer have the ability to say, you know what, I don't think I'm comfortable with that. I just don't think I'm okay with that, for whatever reason. And I don't have to give a reason. It's my reason. I'm an individual human being. And if I don't want somebody knowing what I'm thinking or doing with my spouse or my significant other or whatever, then why don't I have that choice? And, I can hear it in my head. The first thing somebody's going to say is, well, what if you're abusing a child or something? Unfortunately, as human beings, there is going to be always, and you can never get rid of it. In fact, it will only be made worse as power becomes centralized, because those abusers will seek the power. You set up a system of power, and it attracts abusive people. It attracts the people who want to control, that have a lust that they want to get away with. It's the power that enables that. But you're never going to rid humanity of their original sin. And I know, I don't want to get into the debate about whether, people are sinful by their nature. Just ask a parent who's raising a child. They have to teach the selfishness out of them. They have to teach people what sharing is and how to share and why you should share and why you shouldn't take somebody else's stuff or treat them in a certain way. You have to teach them the golden rule. We all understand how we want to be treated, and that's the selfish part of it. That's why people do things that are based solely on how they want to be treated or what they're thinking or what they have as a goal, regardless of other people, right? That's the selfish thing. But it's also the piece that allows us to understand the golden rule. I have desires and thoughts and goals and things that I want to accomplish and things that I want to be respected for, or known for, or seen as, right? I should use that as a way, as a method, as a guidepost, if you will, on how I treat other people. It is a very simple concept. So it is the thing that makes us selfish by our nature, but it is also the thing that allows us to understand how we should treat other people and what other people, how we should value other people and therefore treat them. We should value them as we value ourselves. But again, that's the thing that has to be taught to children. It is not natural. And many people don't understand that until they are well into their old age, right? But it is a simple truth that the very selfishness that we're born with, the very self-centered view that we have from conception, probably, we have to be taught this additional component, the golden rule. I think it applies here to this, ironically enough, a decision to remove yourself from their system. Their system meaning the people who don't understand or haven't internalized the golden rule. The people that believe their vision is the one that everybody else should follow. The people that believe that they are righteous because they are more important than you. The ones that believe you are a drain on the world and therefore we must work to limit your growth. Basically controlling them so they cannot move, so they cannot think, so they cannot congregate and come up with ideas that challenge their selfish view of the world. And you can't help but think, if only they were taught the golden rule and the value of the golden rule, what they would be doing now instead of working to control people. Back to Windows and Mac. For those that are sitting on the fence, I will encourage you to take a moment and think about the implications of your near future, where anything you say, and therefore anything that is thought by you, has to be approved, whether it's the keyboard you're typing on, because the operating system has detected that you are starting to type a concept that has been deemed illegal, and therefore makes a suggestion to alter your thoughts. You're already seeing that if you use Microsoft Office. It's just a drip, drip, drip. Pretty soon it will be the computer makes the decision for you. But just think about this for a moment. What is it that's really at stake? What is it that other people see that you're not seeing? What is it that I'm not seeing? What is it that I'm missing? What is it that I don't understand? What is it that I don't know? Or what is it that I think I know that I need to challenge or have challenged by someone? In the context of our technology, Which again, the importance of this is we can't escape it. We have to use technology. I mean, even our cars that we get into to drive have technology in them that we depend on. We don't even probably realize it half the time. What's at stake here is the very essence of human liberty at its core. The fact that we're individuals, that we have autonomous thoughts, brains, behavior, limbs that are not controlled by an external force. It's our brain. It's our very essence. The ability to determine what we put into our bodies. The ability to determine what medical care we seek. The ability to say what you think to the people that you want to say it to. That is what is at stake. Imagine your world where you have no ability, you're not allowed to perform those basic human actions, activities. To be human, you have no ability to be human. And let me ask you, does that scare you more than taking the leap to changing your Windows operating system? To getting rid of that iPhone or Google Android device and replacing it with a de-Googled Android device, and hopefully someone comes up with another operating system or another option, but to have an option where you get to maintain your humanity, your autonomy, your ability to think, speak, determine what you put into your body, where you go, move. Does the world where I lose my humanity scare me more than replacing my Windows operating system? The answer is a resounding absolutely.